So I really have to thank you and Krishnaji for being a big part in sparking my spiritual awakening journey. When I first started this, from my upbringing and even most of the schooling in the world, traditional schooling or personal development, I've never heard of the word like awakening or spiritual awakening. And I didn't know such a thing. And now that I look at it, the way that I see it is part of humanity's evolution. But yeah, for my own purpose of further learning more about it and for our audience, can you share what is spiritual awakening?
Let's make it true to the word. It is to wake you up from your deep slumber. You have to be awake. For Krishnaji and me, spiritual awakening is a progressive journey that should lead a seeker into a state of enlightenment. I know I've shared this with you already, but just for the sake of the audience now. For Krishnaji says that human beings live and experience life only from two states. They live and experience life from a suffering state or a no suffering state. And greater awakening in consciousness only happens when you actually see the destructive impact of the suffering states that you are living from. Say suffering states of anger, of fear, of hurt, of jealousy, loneliness, hate, guilt. All these we can see it as poisons that destroy your consciousness within. And when you awaken spiritually, you are able to dissolve those suffering states as and when they arise. You are not living your life in suffering states, moving from one suffering state to another. That is anger to guilt or fear to loneliness. It's just not movement in suffering state, but you break out of it. And to us, to take the journey of enlightenment, we see it as the only panacea for this disease. We can call this the disease of suffering that is afflicting your consciousness now. And when you do awaken to extraordinary states, say of peace, love, and compassion, that is when this world would become a better place. The way you experience life would be better. And for greater clarity on enlightenment itself, it is a state where you are totally and completely free of suffering. It is a state of great peace within. It is born out of dissolution of all cravings and obsessions that rage in your consciousness. Enlightenment is also a state where your sense of separation dissolves and you experience a state of oneness with all that is. It is a state of great compassion that arises from the space of oneness. It is a journey of a seeker to move towards enlightenment and to be awake from being submerged in the disease of suffering.